what do you do anyway?
I'm a writer, I guess.
Yes, don't you know?
You get 2 sheets every Saturday. You put the clean sheet in the top sheet in the bottom sheet you turn in the laundry board. Any man turns in the wrong sheet spends the night in a box. Which no one will sit in the bunks with dirty pants on. Any man with dirty pants on sitting on the bunk spends the night in a box. Any man don't bring back his empty pop bottle spends the night in a box. Any man loud talking spends the night in a box.
It's the Al Travis Show, and I appreciate you being here with us. We've got a great guest coming on with us now. Been a friend of the show for 4 or 5 years, I presume now. I find him one of the interesting ones. We do a lot of sports, a lot of talking. I like bringing interesting people on. One of the most is Michael Wells from Mankato. Mike, how are you, sir?
Doing good, Al.
Good.
I think it seems a lot longer that I've been a friend of the show.
It does, but that's all it's been. Time flies by.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair.
I met you when I was up in Mankato doing the radio there, and you work for Mankato State, right? Or Minnesota State Mankato. What do you guys call it anymore? It's not MSU anymore, right?
It is MSU. It's just Minnesota State University Mankato, yeah.
All right. So
That's
the new name, it's going to stick sometime. But you're there. You're a professor up there. You teach computer stuff, right?
Yeah, computer science.
Yeah.
I've been there for my 27th year.
Wow. So you got there before computers. Interesting.
Just about, right?
Yeah, I mean, my goodness, 27 years. When did they come up with those bad boys? All right, but what and then all that makes you interesting. Don't take this wrong. But what I find interesting about you is you are the Minnesota State University Mankato handball coach, right?
That's right. The men's and women's, we're the it's kind of a unknown fact. We're the 4-time defending
There you go.
U.S. collegiate national champions. So we're working on the 5th one.
Yeah, and I love this. That's why I'm saying you're big winners out here in Minnesota, and most of us don't know about it. But I think that's because of handball. Can we go over this? Handball, so for folks who don't play it or don't know it, is kind of like racquetball, but without the racket, right? I mean, it's the same. You use the same floor and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're talking like you've done it, Al.
I've been there because I met you and I went down there one time. So basically, if you're going to pick this up, this is racquetball for the poor kids that can't afford rackets.
We would like to maybe phrase it differently, Al. Maybe it's for everyone instead of just poor people, you know?
Well,
but yes, we love our racquetball brethren, but we leave the racket, I always like to say we leave the racket in the trash can, and then we just go in with our hands.
But what's interesting, is this an Olympic sport? We're getting so many weird Olympic sports. How is this not? This is fun to watch.
Well, it's got to be as good as, some of the things I see on ESPN, the Ocho, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Rock skipping or whatever.
3-man basketball. They change everything, try to get it on. They're going to do flag football, for heaven's sakes. Tell me that is not. I mean, get out of here. That ain't a sport.
Now, European handball is an Olympic sport. That's with like the volleyball that you throw it at the net. That's what most people think that it is. But
and that is kind of cool to watch, actually, Mike. I think it is kind of cool to watch. It's like soccer with your hands, and you only get to watch it every 4 years, so it's kind of cool. But that being said, I don't know why you guys haven't pushed to make this an Olympic event.
Well, I think there is a push from some of the national governing bodies, but you have to have a certain number of countries that participate in the sport to make it an Olympic sport, and it probably maybe don't make that threshold. And
there are enough people playing flag football as adults, really? Okay, I'm good.
I don't know.
So let's get back to handball and you guys, though. You are 4-time defending champions right here in the state of Minnesota, and we don't hear enough about it because, and technically, and this is going to sound wrong, you're not an MSU sport, right? I mean, you don't fall under the athletic director or anything. You guys are
right.
What do you call it?
We're not part of the athletic department. We're under campus recreation, so we're a club sport.
Okay.
But we still recruit actually worldwide. We have
that's what I was going to talk next.
Player from Ireland, right? So people come to Minnesota State on purpose to further their education and play on the handball team. We're really at this point. I know this sounds kind of conceited, but we're really the best handball school in the world right now. So. It's kind of amazing for a tiny little town like Mankato. We compete collegiately against University of Texas, Texas A&M. I mean, big schools. So, But
that's due to your recruiting, or I like to call poaching, right? And evidently,
Jimmy's and Joe's.
Yeah.
Jimmy's and Joe's, right?
Yeah, you can go out there and grab what you want. There isn't like I presume you're not sanctioned. You can, and this young lady who hated me 4 years ago because I chatted with her on the air. She was from Ireland, right? And you got her from there. How did you do that? How do you recruit? I mean, I suppose this is all on the internet somewhere. You find them.
It's funny you say that. Sienna, who was the one who appeared on your show, I don't think she did like you, Al.
I know she didn't.
No, she is the current women's world champion in handball. So I actually was in Ireland helping coach her during the tournament. And so, what happens is in some of these niche sports, it's a small community. So, like if you go to Ireland, handball players would know about, Mankato.
Oh, okay.
So, I think that when people come to our university and they have a good experience, a lot of times we'll get another player from their community, whether that's in California or Portland or Des Moines or wherever that is, because, they go back and tell everybody that we appeared on the Al Travis Show. I think
Worldwide coverage. Go to www.altravisshow.com. Let me ask you this, though, because it is a club sport, and maybe that you don't want to let this out. You're on the highest level. You're the number one handball school in the world, and people are coming from around the world to be here. Can't just Joe average guy who's a freshman at Mankato State who thinks it's kind of cool walk in and get to be a part of it? Or you're like, hey, son.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Go learn and come back and talk to me. I got world champions here.
Nope. So one of the things that I really love about handball, having been involved in a lot of, I coached a lot of like travel baseball and travel basketball over the years when my kids were in high school.
Sure.
And below, sometimes it's not that great of an experience, and usually it's sometimes the parents that are messing it up. So the good part about handball is like if parents come to watch their kid, most of their questions are about the rules, not about, why isn't my kid playing?
Okay.
And part of that is everybody gets to play. So whether we have brand new players headed to Kansas City this weekend to play. We also have players ranked on the Pro Tour. And so handball is for everyone. I say it all the time. If you want to be on the team, you got to have two things. You got to love handball, and you got to be a nice person. So basically, we take this group of 25 young men and women and travel around together and enjoy each other's company and compete against other schools and other players. And so it is literally for anybody that wants to do it on campus.
I like the idea of that, Mike, but come on. So Al, beginner guy, Al Jr. walks up, gets a weekend, they're playing some hand, goes, yeah, this is kind of fun. We're heading to Kansas City. And he thinks, great times, right? Let's have some college fun in Kansas City. And because you're the number one ranked team, I presume all the other big teams, the Texases, are coming after you. My son's going to walk into his first tournament, get his backside handed to him?
No, he'll play against people in his own skill level. So each division, there'll be like a beginner's sort of division, so we'll enter people in there. And then there's people that play, in the open division. So you get to compete against people that are your own skill level. That's also the great part about it. So there's really no downside to it, honestly.
And I don't know, how long does a regular match run? Because you're talking 25 kids all playing in a tournament over the weekend. I presume, if you're winning, you're playing 6-8 matches. How do you get that done if you're not doing it overnight? Is there enough parks?
The tournament runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. And
so it just kind of depends on how far you advance. A match takes somewhere between, an hour to an hour and 15 minutes generally. So it's good hand-eye, it's good cardio. It transfers to a lot of other sports. There's a lot of core involved. So the hardest part for most people is the development of their non-dominant hand.
Sure.
So the sport weeds out people that can't take a little bit of difficulty, because it does take a while until your left hand kind of behaves.
Yeah.
Think about how many times you've thrown something with your right hand and then try and do it with your left hand.
All right, so your world champion, your best kid, he's out there playing in this thing in Kansas City. We'll talk about that in a sec, and your fundraiser. How many rounds, how many hour and 15-minute matches will he have to go from first round to championship in 3 days?
Yeah, in this one it'll be four matches. So you play one tonight, 2 tomorrow, and then one on Sunday morning before we load up the school vans and head home.
right, fair enough. I've got to go to break, Mike. When we come back, I do want to talk about this tournament you've got going on this weekend, and then also you've got a big fundraiser going. Can we talk about those two things after the break?
That'd be awesome. Thanks,
I've got him, Mike Well. He's the man. He's the man in the handball world. We'll talk more after this.
Think about it. A famous politician once said, "You're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your own facts." But in a world full of AI and fake news, where can Minnesotans find the facts? Center of the American Experiment is Minnesota's go-to source for fact-based analysis and common sense solutions for taxes, energy, public safety, and our kids' education. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
He's a secret weapon here in Minnesota. He's Mike Wells. He is the coach of the Maverick handball team up in Mankato. Four-time defending champs going for their fifth. They're actually heading down to, Kansas City for the 77th annual Handballista Games. That's really a lame name, by the way, Mike. Handballista.
I didn't name it, Al.
I know, but it's still lame. But this is kind of big. How big is the Kansas City Athletic Club? How many teams will be there? How many courts do they have? How big is this deal?
Yeah. Before I tell you, one thing I forgot about these trips.
Yep.
Al, you should probably go on one with us, because if you want to get an education, you just get in a van with 5 college-age people. I've learned more over the break, than I think I learned it when I was getting my advanced degree.
Oh, that's funny. You've heard me on the radio. Does it sound like a guy who's trying to learn stuff? I'm just living with what I got, Mike. I'm just doing
Yeah,
me.
maybe not.
All right. Go ahead.
Anyway, we're going to the Jewish. It's called the Jewish Community Center, the J in Kansas City. So they have 6 really nice courts. Missouri State, who's really one of our chief handball rivals, will have their full squad there. Okay. Then there'll be some players from other teams, and then the thing about these tournaments is they're not always exclusively just college students. Oh. There's also, like, I'm playing in an age group division, right? So there's other players there as well. So.
And how many on your squad of, I think you said it was 25, How many are ranked in the world or in your division?
Oh, yeah. So let me think now. 4. I'm getting the sign from Mark here next to me. So there's 4 ranked on the Pro Tour.
Wow.
We've had a pretty special situation in the last year where we had 3 players that were ranked in like the top 12 on the male Pro Tour and the number 2 ranked woman. So we're in I don't think there's ever been a college team where there's been that many ranked pros on the college team. Maybe after college.
Let me just go with this word pro with this thing. Is there money to be made playing this sport?
Yeah, so at the pros, there's 6 pro stops for the men. And there's prize money for at those pro stops. Yep.
Okay.
And because we're not a NCAA sport, we're governed by the United States Handball Association.
You're allowed.
Players can go and accept prize money at those tournaments.
Good for them. If it helps pay for school, good for them.
Yeah.
All right. One last thing before I got to let you go. October is your guys' big fundraising event. If I'm not mistaken, you run this thing because it's a club sport via the kids' cash or what you can raise, right?
Yeah. So each player pays a travel fee, and it's about 25% of the cost of entry fees, travel, lodging, that kind of stuff. So we're going to try something new at this tournament. All 26 of us are staying in an Airbnb. Al.
Oh, wow. 26?
I make it an extra special education.
Oh, my. So it's sleeping bag time, floor. Got an Airbnb with 26 beds. So everybody's just lying around on floors. No, really?
26 beds. Yeah. There's some separate area for the coaching staff, which I think is
wonderful
pretty
idea.
Important. Pretty important. But we run our fundraiser. Most of the funds that we utilize, we raise through private donations, and so all the money that's given goes directly to the handball team to offset expenses.
Okay.
So you can, if you do Minnesota State Handball on Facebook, we have that posted. We're also on Instagram, so you can find that.
It's also on this YouTube. The description for this YouTube that'll have it also be on the Al Travis Show Facebook page and our Facebook page and on the website. So they should be able to find it.
That's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Any donation is worth it, or if I donate enough money, I get a free jersey, or how does all this work? Is there anything to that, or just straight up?
Every donation helps. There's a listing on that website of different levels and what they could be for.
Okay.
We have a tournament in February too, so if you give $500 or more, we put your company logo up on the courts during the tournament. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to support the Mavericks, and we're very appreciative. We wouldn't be able to do this without corporate and individual donors.
Now, you say your logo at the tournament. I'm looking at some of the videos you've got. There's the big Maverick handball moose on the cover on the floor, middle of the floor. If I paid enough money, I could get the Al Travis logo on the center of that court over to the top of the moose.
Well, how about we leave the Maverick on that court? It's not a moose. I know you'll get it right eventually, but we'd be happy to put the Al Travis logo on another court, but it's not going to be cheap for you, Al.
Oh, I don't want cheap. I think the idea that logo would be covered up my logo kind of makes me think, wow, maybe I should take a loan out and do this. Mike, appreciate you a ton. Good luck to you and the I don't know if you call them kids, young adults that are playing this weekend. Good luck. I guess you're playing as well. And let's keep posted. Let's get you back on here and see how you're doing. When do we find out if you make it for the 5th time?
It's in February, and it's actually in Missouri State. So it's our chief rival on their campus. So would be nothing sweeter than to win the 5th one on a rival's campus. So hopefully we'll be able to accomplish that.
Mr. Wells, I appreciate you coming on the show with us. Go get him, my friend.
Thank you, Al. Have a great day.
You as well. It's Michael Wells, Minnesota State University Mankato Maverick handball coach.
Think about it. Now that school's back in session, how are Minnesota students doing? Not very well. Minnesota